3 generations of men have kept the Elhart family business thriving for nearly 60 years. But when their auto repair shop took a turn in 2010, Jeff's brother Wayne started to become depressed. He committed suicide 5 years later, leaving behind this note.
This depression has gotten the best of me.
He started isolating himself. He didn't enjoy being with his friends. He actually quit drinking alcohol, which is a positive thing, but a change in his behavior. Not that he had a drinking problem, but it was part of his social life. And so those changes we saw, but didn't quite understand what to do with them.
White middle-class men are the most vulnerable to suicide. The reason behind it are often complex and highly personal. But Dr. Greden says a common trend is developing across Middle America.
12% get depression anyway, just probably because of genetic influences, biology, factors that are there. It's got a consistency around the world, but there's a lot of social variables that are going on right now. Men unemployment, where are men in the workplace? What happens when my supervisor gets angry at me? What happens if I lose a job?
The suicide rate here in Michigan has increased by 1/3 in the last 2 decades, and that's an upward trend mirrored across the United States. Half of those who commit suicide have no known mental health condition, but that's because depression often goes undiagnosed.
Clinical psychologist Dr. Horwitz says trauma and PTSD, as well as access to guns, contribute to a high rate of suicide among veterans.
With PTSD, there's a lack of trust. It's more, difficult to connect with others, especially people you may not know. And so, that network of people can get smaller and smaller. A lot of folks with those types of issues may not seek services.
We all know what this is like.
A few weeks ago, 2 students who survived the Parkland High School shooting in Florida and a parent of one of the children killed at Sandy Hook Elementary School took their own lives.
We know that suicide has kind of contagion effects, and when, if you're close to someone and media suicides, being reported in particular ways can increase risk.
Around half of the nearly 50,000 people who took their life in 2017 used a firearm. And gun control advocacy groups are turning the focus to preventing suicide by limiting access to weapons. But for some mental health workers, the concern is that if mass shootings don't garner change in gun laws, then it's doubtful that suicides will. Sally Ayhan, TRT World, Michigan.